What's up, my BBs? Welcome back to my podcast. Today's episode was requested by someone on my YouTube, and that was about borderline and relationships. And this is probably something I struggle with on the daily because, like I said before, I have really bad abandonment issues, really bad trust issues, and all of those kind of come up on the daily. And I'm kind of honestly dealing with it right now. I'm talking to someone and I'm always afraid that they just want nothing to do with me. And it could just be by not talking to me for a couple hours, or sometimes, I don't know, I'm afraid. I think of so many different options in my head of what could be going on. Like, I'm even doing it right now with how jumbled I am. I don't know if maybe I'm making myself crazy by thinking things that aren't true, or maybe I am making stuff up in my head, which is kind of the same thing I just said, or maybe I'm not actually crazy and they do want nothing to do with me. But the problem is, I've had situations where both of those are true, so it's not like I'm always wrong or I'm always right. I never know what's the truth. And I'm not saying I need someone to talk to me 24/7, but it's all about the communication. And I can't reiterate that enough. If you're going to be working all day and you're not going to be able to talk, tell me. I'm not saying I need to know your exact daily schedule and you need to talk to me every single time you can, but if it just set boundaries and communicate with me. Don't go from talking to me all day every day to talking to me once a week, because I'm going to think you hate me. I'm going to think you want nothing to do with me. If there's a reason for that, then fine. Give me the reason and we can move on. I don't know. At least with borderline, so my abandonment issues, I don't even know. It's both from experience and just my mind. I have had many people leave me. I've had many people just treat me horribly, and I've put up with it because I don't want to deal with them leaving me. I have a video on YouTube, the worst a guy has ever treated me, and that is something that I really attribute to my abandonment issues. And that's because he just made me think so many different things for so long. He was a master manipulator. He always, whenever I was upset and thought that he didn't like me anymore, he would say like one little thing just to string me along. And then my last serious whatever situationship told me they loved me, and then they ended up breaking up with me, and we never actually were in a relationship. So it's stuff like that that's like, I don't know what to believe. I always think people are lying to me. I'm always afraid people are just faking their feelings in order to get something they want, and a lot of times that would be sex and relationships with me. And so it stresses me out to the max dealing with relationships. And a lot of the times I've had friends with benefits a couple times, and it never works out because I always catch feelings and I always end up just heartbroken, because it's both losing a friend and what kind of felt like a boyfriend at the same time for me. And I know it's unhealthy, but I do it anyway because I just want that type of affection. I want to feel wanted in any way possible. And it sounds really desperate, but it's true. It's just the way it is for me. Geez, like, it just, because friendship breakups are awful, relationship breakups are awful, and like I said, it's just a combination of the two. So like I said, I'm always afraid people are going to leave me. Even I'm huge, like I said, on communication. I need you to tell me. I don't know how to say this in a non-crazy sounding way, honestly. I want to know exactly how you're feeling, and if anything changes, that's what I need to know. Don't think that I'll get the signals, get the hints that you're trying to send, because I'm not. I'm not going to get the hints, because I'm going to assume something else in my mind. 2 plus 2 equals whatever my mind wants it to, honestly. And it's scary because I don't know what kind of shit I'm going to make up in my head. And it could honestly turn my day around. And it's scary. Like I said, it's honestly frightening. I'm going to look back at the YouTube comment where someone requested this so I can make sure I hit all points and make sure there's nothing else. So they asked for a video on my experience of being single, or how to be single with BPD. And I've been with my boyfriend for years, and I honestly don't know if I could be single even if I wanted to, because I couldn't go through the whole breakup/abandonment. So here's my issue. So personally, whenever I got quote dumped, I thing is I'm always the dumpy, not the dumper. Anytime I am the dumper, I always run back to them. It's because I don't want to be alone and it's scary, but you have to learn to be alone. Even when I am single, I have to have someone I'm talking to, like a guy, so to give me affection. Otherwise, I feel so alone and broken. And it's funny, I've talked to my therapist about it and I've explained this to her, and I'm like, I know it's not healthy, but it's not something I'm willing to change. Cuz I just can't I just don't want to work at that. So honestly, I can't give an honest answer on how to be alone because I don't even know myself. But the fact that I don't even know myself can maybe make people feel not so alone, hopefully. Um, let's see. Let me see. I honestly don't know if I could be single even if I wanted to because I couldn't go through the whole breakup slash abandonment. Yeah, my biggest thing for when I'm upset is to distract myself and just yeah, just I'll watch something funny on TV, watch a comedy special, try and go through BuzzFeed or something, and then I'll find that I feel better. I have to yawn. And I don't edit these. I literally just post them. Um, but yeah, so I'll just throw myself into work of some sort. Like I'll start doing makeup a lot, or I'll start um, editing videos. A lot of the times, if I'm upset, I'll be like, Lexi, like make a long video, send it to me so I can spend all my time editing that and my just distracting my mind. That's the only way time will pass, and time really does heal. And the only thing personally for me that makes me feel better if a relationship ends is it's kind of one of those things where it's like you know you're going to be okay, but that still doesn't help the fact that you're hurt now. I when it, My last relationship when that ended, I would think to myself, you never thought you were going to get over your first love and you're completely over him now. So you know that like this is going to hurt, but what happens in my head is that I have trust issues. I have all this. I put up walls, but every single time I think it's going to be different. I'm like, okay, this may seem like it's the same type of thing going in, but maybe he's different. Maybe this will be a different experience. Maybe they're a different type of person. And sometimes they are for a short period of time. And then anytime that they like switch, anytime the relationship changes, it's, oh, you fucked me over. You promised you wouldn't do this. And that's also not kind of a healthy way. I never want to blame myself for things and never want to blame myself for relationships ending. I have cycled through so many friends because of borderline, and which I never knew at the time. I had stable friends in middle school, but high school I never had the same friends for more than like every single year I would have different friends. And it was just I my mom would ask me like, I'm not trying to say like it's all you, but you've lost so many friendships, so I don't know what, like, why do you think that is? And I'm like, I think I just pick wrong people. And yeah, I think that's part of it. I don't think I chose the best people, but it was definitely me. Like I would get so close to people so fast, a lot of black and white thinking, get so close, give them my all, be the best friend I could be, and then I wouldn't get it in return, and the friendship would just be trash at that point. And it's just such an unhealthy way to have relationships. And I kind of am moving from relationships to friendships, but some of it's the same idea of just being extreme. And I am no psychologist, I am no expert in BPD. I'm just someone that deals with it on the daily. And I do have good days, but even on my good days, there are things that I struggle with. I do struggle with anxiety. I do struggle with depression. I do struggle with that fear of abandonment, that need for validation. That was one of my biggest things too. But that also kind of has to, like, goes hand in hand with abandonment. I need you to tell me that like you still want to talk to me, that you still want me in your life. Otherwise, I'm going to think you don't. And to some people, this could be like, oh my God, she's so emotionally high maintenance. But you know what? There are some people who will put up with that. And I don't even want to say it like put up with that, but there are some people who will be happy to give you that kind of emotional validation. One thing that my ex actually said to me that was probably the nicest thing anyone's ever said about borderline, or at least to me, was, I think I might have said this in something else, I don't remember, but he said, yes, you have bad days, those may be bad for everyone, but for every bad day you have 10 good days, and on those good days your smile like radiates and is contagious, blah blah blah. But yeah, I don't know, this might be a shorter podcast today. I do have, I don't know if I have a lot to talk about with this subject. I just have a lot of different experiences that are very similar with this subject, where it's just me getting attached and then me thinking they don't want me in their life. And then I push when stuff like this happens. I push until they just don't want me anymore because I'm too much for them. I want, like, they'll hold back and I'll push forward, if that makes sense. And it's not fun. And the lowest of my lows have been after breakups, and they've been the worst experiences of my life besides my rock bottom with my addiction. But oh god, they, like, I know, like, the moments after I've ended relationships like those, I almost don't know what to do with myself. I just have to make sure I'm not alone for too long. I have to surround myself with people who love me, or just occupy my mind with something else. Otherwise, I'll make myself crazy. But that's it for this podcast. I do take most suggestions. If you want to comment below or DM me on Instagram, any suggestions you have for future podcasts or even future YouTube videos, follow me on Instagram at AllieBBK, and I will see you guys next time.